Welcome to problem set 79. Okay, so this is what we're going to have. They're going to give you some really ugly, disgusting, gross, like old and crusty equation. Let's start with this one. Remember, the note paper is out before class starts so that during class we can focus on taking notes. Okay. Here is our equation. We have RA TA plus RP TP, not to be confused with the stuff in the bathroom that is toilet paper, not TP, the variable, equals 320. So we have variables with subscripts. So we have the variable and then the letter below it, okay? This is one thing. It's not R times A, it's RA. Later on, we'll learn what these stand for. Let's say we have a student called Armando. This would be the time of Armando, as opposed to the time of Peter, Paul. I don't know. We don't have a P student here. Peterson. We don't have a first name P student here, right? Polly. Pamela. What other P names are there?
Andy.
Paper? Piper? Pepper.
Peter Piper.
Peter Piper, Pepper. Peter Piper, picked a pack. Pickle. Alright, moving on. So, we have this equation, RATA plus RPTP equals 320. Then they're going to give us some additional information. We have RP equals 50, TP, not the toilet paper, equals 4, and TA equals 3. Here's what we're going to do. Are you ready? We're going to plug in to each one of these. So, in our equation, we have RP equals what? 50. So, where I had RP, I am going to put parentheses there and write 50 below it. Directly below it so I can see exactly what I plugged in. Now, TP, not to be confused with the stuff in the bathroom, that is toilet paper, is 4. Okay, so below the TP, I am going to write 4. Those are multiplied because RP is multiplied by TP. So we're just lining everything up. They tell us TA equals 3. So what do I do with the TA, Daniel?
Put in parentheses under TA.
Under the TA, I'll put 3 in parentheses. Now, everything that's left over, I'm just going to bring it down. So this is how you show your work perfectly. So I have RA times 3 plus 50 times 4, because I plugged those in, equals 320. And they're asking us to solve for RA. Is this impossible? No, right? So how do I solve this? I'm going to, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And I would encourage you guys to write out those things on the side so you can keep track of what you're doing. First, I'm going to get rid of parentheses. Luckily, nothing inside the parentheses needs to be simplified. So, I will just get rid of them. RA times 3 plus 50 times 4 equals 320. Do we have any exponents? No. You might be like, well, is that A an exponent? Because it's RA with the A as the subscript. No, it's just there. It is one thing. It is the rate of Armando. So we have no exponents. Now we will multiply and divide. What do we multiply and divide in this problem? Daniel?
50 times 4.
Which is?
90. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. 200.
200. So we're going to line everything up perfectly. So I have 3RA plus 200 equals 320. Now I can add and subtract from both sides. What would I subtract, Evan?
You can subtract 200 from
Excellent. So I'm going to subtract 200 from both sides. And Sierra, it looks like you were quite excited to share the next step. I have 3 times RA equals 120. What's the next step?
Divided by 3.
Yeah, bingo. So we're going to undo multiplication by division. And so RA equals 40. And that's your answer. Box your answer, leave room before the next problem. And much like a cow, you would move on. Okay, let's try another one. So I have RT TT plus 120 equals RB TB. And they give me the following pieces of information. That RT equals 2, that RB equals 10. That is an R. Ugh. Okay, change all the B's to R's, because they're R's. So we have RTTT plus 120 is RRTR. They give us RT is 2, they give you RR is 10, and they give you TR equals TT. Uh-oh, are we bothered? Yes. Do we just sit here and go, I'm bothered? No, because then your life is wasted. So, Sonny, first step. Evan, if you can't see, move here. Right here. Or where are your glasses? Sonny, first step.
I put the words down.
Okay, what words?
You put RT under RT. I mean, no, T, you put 2 under RT.
Okay, RT equals 2, so I'm plugging in 2 below RT. Do I know what TT is?
Yes.
Am I saying it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you put, now you don't know what TT is.
Okay, so I'm going to leave it as TT. So I have 2 times TT plus 120 equals what, Kara? The right side of the equation, please.
Wait, so RR equals 10.
Okay, so I'm going to plug in 10 under RR because RR is 10. What do I plug in for TR? And that's the T. Still Kara.
Oh, TT.
Yes. So your job is to use all of these equations, which we did, but you want to end up with only one variable. So you kind of have to choose to leave one of the TTs and then change the other one. If you change both of them, because you know TT equals TR, then you would have 2TR plus 120 is 10TT. That wouldn't help you because they're not the same. So you want it to somehow end up with the same letters so that you have one variable. Okay? Yes?
Could we do it so that instead of TT for both of them, could we do TR?
Yep. So you could do it for TRs, both of them, or as TT. Okay. Next step. What is the next step? Yes? Your hand is raised above your head. Sorry, it's you.
Please excuse my dear algebra students.
Please excuse, and I'm going to put E up there because we don't have any. My dear algebra students. Okay, so parentheses, they go away. Awesome. No problem there. Exponents, do we have any? No. AJ, you have not been called on. Multiplication and division, is there anything to multiply and divide?
Yes.
What?
Sorry, hold on. Yes, you can multiply 2 by TT.
Okay.
2TT.
Okay, cool. We did all the multiplication and division. Next step.
Add and subtract.
Add and subtract. What do I add and subtract? Still AJ. So I have 2TT plus 120 equals 10TT.
2TT plus 120. Oh wait, no, it's not possible.
They don't add apples and oranges.
Oh wait, subtract 10. Wait, no, hold on. Oh wait, no, I'm good.
No, it's your turn to
Can I
answer.
veto someone else?
No.
I'll do it.
Okay,
Each person gets a turn. We all have a voice in this classroom. That's the thing.
wait, is that 10 in the TT?
So 2TT plus 120 equals 10TT.
Oh, so I'm going to subtract 10TT by 2TT?
Okay, so we can subtract 2TT from both sides. Why do I subtract 2TT from both sides instead of moving the 10s here?
Because they're like terms.
Okay, they're like terms. Excellent. So I can subtract it from each other. Why did I move this one? Why did I move the 2TT instead of the 10 though? How do we solve an equation? What's important for that? Ocampo.
Yeah. Because if you were to do it on the left side, it'd be a negative.
Okay, if I did it on the left side, it would be a negative. What does my answer look like?
An answer.
Yeah, what's my answer going to look like?
8tt equals 120.
No, that's the next step. What's my answer? Like, what was my answer in the last problem?
Oh, it'll be like tt equals something.
It's going to be TT on one side and then some number on the other side, right? So, in order to solve something, you have to move the letters to one side and move the numbers to the other side. So, AJ was absolutely correct in moving the 2TT because now I have all the letters on the right side and I have all the numbers on the left side. Brooke, please stop daydreaming. Join us back on. No, do it on the paper. It's better.
No, but it's 96 divided by 12.
Oh, that's like 8.
No.
Oh, sorry. You didn't want the answer? Okay. All right, so we have 120 on the left side. We have 8TT on the right side. What's the next step, Sonny? Do I undo this multiplication? You?
Yeah.
Opposite of multiplying is?
Divide
By what?
by 20.
So I want TT by itself. So what am I trying to get rid of?
The number.
The number. What is that number?
8.
8. So what will I divide by?
128.
I will divide by what number?
Oh, 8tt.
8. Nope.
Oh. 8 and 120.
There's only one answer. Give me one number.
Oh, it's 8.
Thank you. There we go. Phew. Made it. What's 120 divided by 8, Brooke?
What?
120 divided by 8.
Well,
I
guess.
don't know.
That's not acceptable. Try again.
Trying to think. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
How many times is 8 going to 12?
One.
Oh.
1. What's left over?
8.
4.
How many times is 8 going to 40?
5.
There you go, 15.
Are you
Wow.
That's how you do it. Okay, so TT equals 15. I do not accept angry questions. Yeah.
could we move, subtract the 10t from?
Yeah, but then you would also have to subtract 120 from both sides to move the number away. So it's the wrong choice. You will eventually get the answer, but you're doing too much work to get there. Okay, let's try this one now. Now we are solving not just for one thing, but for two. Excuse me, are you doing okay?
Sorry,
Okay, so we have RLTL equals RSTS. RL equals 40. TS equals TL minus 5. We are asked to find both TL and TS. And they give us RS is 80. First step, the AJ.
Plug in the numbers into
Okay.
the variables.
So what do we have?
You have 40 TL equals 40, no, 80, sorry, 80 TS. No, wait, no, TL, parentheses, TL minus 5. Sorry.
Okay, good. So AJ plugged in these, so we used those two equations, and then he plugged in this one, so now we have one equation in terms of TL, and that's the T. You have to get it in terms of one equation in order to proceed on. Did that bother you guys? That I made that comment? Bothered me too.
The letters
I
on
just
top of
spelled
like,
the T.
You spelled T.
the letters up top of like the letters on Wheel of Fortune at the end.
Where they like walk up and they press the button. Okay, now, here's the trick. Which one do you plug into? You always plug into the most complicated one. Right? It usually has the R's and T's multiplied. So So always plug in the most complicated one as you go. All right, so we have 40 TL equals 80 TL minus 5. What are our next steps, Sierra?
We need to distribute, I think.
That is correct. So we will distribute what?
The 80 outside the parentheses.
Bingo.
To the TL and negative 5.
So we have 80 TL. What's 5 times 80, Brooke?
100.
Thank you. Just testing that mental math for you so you can stay on task. Okay, next step. There's a right step, and there's a step that makes you more work. So, Evan, what's the right step next? So we have 40 TL equals 80 TL minus 400.
You subtract the 80 TL from both sides of the equation.
What if I told you that was the wrong step that made more work?
And I would be very confused.
Then you are confused.
No, he's
That is
saying-
the correct step.
He's saying.
So, if you moved the 40, you would be making more work for yourself because then you have to move the number away too. So, with this, that 80's cancel, and we're left with negative 40 TL equals negative 400, and divided by what, everybody? Negative 40, because we don't want negative TL, that's not helpful. So TL equals, everybody? We can divide 400 by 40, everybody? 10. Now that we've found TL, are we done?
No.
No, because it was asking for TL and TS. So we must go back and look at our original equations again and see which one will help us. Which equation makes it the easiest to find TS, the stoic? You gotta look so stoic.
Sorry. So which equation is going to get TS
The easiest, yeah.
easiest? I'm not too sure.
Well, I'll pick one. There's only 4 up there. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gonna assume TL minus 5.
That is not a complete sentence, nor is it a complete equation because it doesn't have both sides. Just putting my name in something doesn't make it a complete sentence. That makes it a more complicated sentence.
But that's the subject.
I am not the subject. The subject is Algebra 1.
Then the verb. Wait, no,
The
no.
verb is Mr. Belanda. I'm
Hi,
like
Mr.
the
Belanda.
indirect object. I'm the one who is doing the thing, but that's like not. That just makes your sentence structure so complicated. Daniel, you have the right answer. Just form it as a complete sentence.
Okay, the easier equation for the problem will be TS equals TL minus 5.
Awesome. So we're going to write the easier equation for the problem. TS equals TL minus 5. And then we will plug in our value of TL. Just like we did at the top. Now, failure to write the equations and then plug into them and working vertically will also result in failure for me to award you points on these problems. So if you don't write the equation and that equal sign doesn't follow all the way down, I will give you no points. That's how it's going to go. So make sure everything lines up. I wrote the equation, I follow my equal sign down so I can see exactly where each step happened, and then my answer is a little off, but that's fine. So here, TS equals 10 minus 5. I'm going to keep that equal sign going, so I have TS equals 5. Box or circle your answers, and you are done. Okay. So now I have an example for y'all to try. An example, was that on the list of approved shapes?
No.
Then, sorry, it's not approved. I said box or circle. And really, it's usually an oval. Okay, so here's our equations. RF equals RETE. TF equals 16. TE equals 12, and RE equals RF plus 15. So I would like you guys to begin working that example out. Sierra, that would be example 79.4. Not to be confused with the radio station 79.4, because that does not exist.
Pretty sure it does exist.
They only go down to 80 something.
Oh. It didn't even break. I'm so confused. I barely turned it.
Sorry, you moved it. What's up?
Up there, the first one, R, is that an F?
That's an F. RFTF equals RETE. Wow.
Wait,
Wait, what?
I'm
Wait,
so
why did I
confused.
What in the world? RFTF equals RETE. You guys are just making fun of my handwriting. That's what it is. RFTF. I think I struggle with my F's. Need to work on that. I just don't give them in math class often, so I don't have practice with that letter. But if you guys want to give me practice with it, I would be happy to assist. Yes.
I'm confused.
Okay.
Like as far as trying to plug in the values.
Yes.
But
Is that a J?
how would you plug in the RF plus
R-I?
15?
Is it an I?
Because RE equals RF plus 15. So we're going to put that into RE. Is it weird because the number's afterwards?
Yeah.
Just treat it like the number's before.
Is the top one an I?
Yeah.
F?
So even if it's afterwards, you still distribute as normal. As in RE equals RF plus 15.
Is that E?
Yeah, let's make fun of Mr. Bull and his handwriting today. That'll be fun. We'll get him. Meanwhile, I'll probably make fun of our shoot. Oh no, I'm wearing Vans.
Do it.
Swoosh. Swoosh. Snip. You're swooshy. I don't know, I feel like I'm processing.
Have you ever watched Forrest Gump?
Have I ever watched the answer to this question? No, I have not. But my students have answered the question. You may begin on your homework, so I would encourage you to do so. So you can move on with the